Today, I'll be drawing Toons from the mascot horror survival game, Dandy's World as humans. Some new Toons just released for the limited time Christmas event, so let's dive in and draw some new Toons. First up is Ginger. Ginger is a brand new Toon that was just released for the Christmas event. She's a light brown gingerbread cookie, missing the left side of her face. Yeah, sorry, I was hungry. Her hair is made of white frosting, with cute red candy sprinkles throughout. She wears a striped red shirt, paired with pink and white striped leggings. Her stats are average, with good stealth but a slower movement speed. And just like Cosmo, her ability allows her to heal injured Toons by giving one of her own hearts. So she's a survivalist and a healer Toon. Plus, unlike Cosmo, she has a wider healing range. Quell also confirmed that Ginger is actually Cosmo's cousin, which makes so much sense because they're both sweets. Just like Cosmo and Sprout, she enjoys baking, also being very artistic when decorating sweets. Her personality is kind and caring, but also a bit shy. Twisted Ginger, on the other hand, is not so sweet. Ichor now leaks from the missing area of her head, and we can also see half of her arm has been torn off. Her makeup is now smudged, now having a frown with spiky teeth and bloodshot red eyes. Her red sprinkles are replaced with bits of ichor, and is also covering most of her hair. When she spots you, she begins to cry ichor and open her mouth, as if she's crying for help. While Ginger is the slowest Twisted in the entire game, the real problem is her attention span. Ginger's attention span is extremely high, sitting at 10 whole seconds. So if you're spotted, you'll be looping around islands for quite a while before you get her off you. Me and my friends hate getting Twisted Ginger because it feels like it's impossible to get her away. I've gone to the whole other side of the map, and Twisted Ginger still chases me. This Twisted also makes distracting much harder, because since she's so slow, she doesn't keep up with other Twisteds that are chasing you, resulting in distracting her being much harder to maintain. My team tried so hard to distract her, but it just didn't work out. So it's best to avoid her as much as possible. Then she won't become a problem. Fun fact, before it got nerfed, her attention span used to be 25 seconds. So I'm still internally grateful they changed it, even though 10 seconds is kind of excessive. For her human design, I decided her hair would be covering half of her face. Cause let's be honest, if half of her head was gone as a human, she would probably be dead. Well, unless she's like Bread. I love Ginger's design. She's easily one of the cutest Toons so far, especially her minty pine skin. She's wearing a gingerbread hair clip, and I turned her shirt into a cute Christmas dress with a fluffy white trim, paired with cute arm gloves to match her leggings. There's also a ribbon with peppermint on her collar. Of course, I had to draw her holding a cookie. Here is human Ginger. Next up, we've got Bobette. Bobette is a red-colored bauble with decorative patterns on her face, and is wearing a green-colored Christmas sweater topped off with a fluffy white trim. She's also confirmed to have a chubbier body type compared to other Toons, and is also officially a main Toon, which really caught everyone by surprise. Her stats are pretty great, with awesome skill check and stamina, good movement speed, but below average extraction and stealth. So it's good to have extraction trinkets for this Toon. Her first ability allows her to become invincible, but unable to move for 8 seconds by hiding in a Christmas box, and her second ability regens other Toons' stamina around her 50% faster. So yeah, very useful abilities. She's very cheerful and friendly towards other Toons, and it's clear by many of her dialogues that she loves Christmas and wrapping gifts for her friends. Meanwhile, Twisted Bobette is terrifying. Just like other mains, you'll know right away if she's on your floor by hearing footsteps and Christmas jingles. Twisted Bobette is massive, being probably the tallest Twisted in the game, towering over the player. I think she might be as big or even bigger than Dandy. She appears with her bobblehead now broken open, revealing a massive ichor inside. And whatever this pointy thing is, she's still smiling, but her smile is disturbing to say the least. Her arms and legs are nearly completely covered in ichor, with the arms nearly reaching the floor and her hands having very long claws. When chasing you, her footsteps are very loud and fast, and her pupils look down at the player, which is so creepy. Her Twisted is very fast and also somewhat hard to shake off when she spots you. Not only is Twisted Bobette much larger than other Twisteds, but there's another twist. When you pick up an item, Bobette will dash towards your area to come and find you, so you gotta get out of there fast. Just like how Dandy runs towards a machine when finished. So you may be better off not picking up items when she's on your floor, besides capsules. Unless she's already preoccupied chasing someone else, or if you're really brave. Her Twisted research reads, created to craft toys for everyone has left her envious, leading her to break into full sprint if someone picks up an item in hopes of catching whoever was being greedy. So I guess this is like kind of an evil Santa Claus? Fun fact, the first day Bobette came out, there was an error where Twisted Bobette could appear twice on the same floor. Imagine two of these chasing you. For her human form, Bobette has red hair with a cute bun on the back of her head. I also added some Christmas lights in her hair to imitate the original patterns on her head. That, and I could 100% imagine Bobette actually putting Christmas lights on herself and probably singing that one Mariah Carey song. Crazy Christmas fans. I turned her sweater into a sweater dress with long sleeves over the hands to complement her bubbly, carefree personality. And she's wearing Christmas socks below. On her ears, I also added some cute bauble earrings. Here is human Bobette. Now let's draw Bobette's dog, Cole. Cole is quite literally just a giant chunk of coal, with a very long forehead and a cute angry looking face below. Bags can be seen under her eyes, as well as Christmas symbols on her cheeks. Red earmuff-like bags can also be seen on each side of her head, along with a flag on top. And yes, Cole is a girl, as proven through dialogue with Bobette. I remember in my first video, everyone yelled at me for calling Cosmo a boy. Guys, Cosmo is a guy. Guys can be cute cake rolls too, you know. While we don't currently have too much info on Cole's personality, she definitely gives off grumpy vibes. And just like Pebble, she can't speak, but bark. Or should I say, woof. Cole has good stats, with 4-star movement and stamina, good stealth, but below average skill check and extraction speed. Her ability also allows her to highlight items around the map for a total of 10 seconds. She's very similar to Pebble because of this ability, and her stats point towards her being a pretty good distractor for the team. Well, as long as Brittany doesn't get in the way. However, Twisted Cole is a nightmare, and she kinda looks like one too. Her anatomy is significantly different from before. And honestly, out of any Twisted, I think she looks the most different from her Toon counterpart. Like Twisted Pebble, she has 2 hind legs, but much shorter. She also now has a more defined canine-shaped head, along with sharp fangs, pointed ears, and red eyes. The bags that used to sit on her head are now torn off. I might get some heat for this, but honestly, Twisted Cole looks more like a rat than a dog to me. Her Toon form is adorable, but I'm not super into her Twisted design very much. No disrespect to the creators, it's just my honest opinion. But hey, it's definitely scary, and that's the point of Twisteds, so it for sure gets the job done. Twisted Cole also has a very high attention span, being 8, nearly as high as Ginger's. By default, Cole is a rather normal speed and isn't insanely difficult to get away from, but she really becomes a problem during Blackout. This is the only Twisted to have their stats change in Blackout, as when you come across Cole on a Blackout floor, she has the same speed as Pebble, which is really bad. Meanwhile, Pebble's attention span is only 4 seconds, which is high, but Cole's is double that, which actually makes her more dangerous than Pebble on Blackouts. And on top of that, she doesn't have footsteps like Pebble does, so you never know where she is. She's extremely fast and very hard to shake off. Me and my friends have ran around entire maps and still could not escape her. Many people in the Dandy's World fandom have called her an unfair version of Pebble, and honestly, like, her speed changing in Blackout is a very cool concept for a Twisted, but her attention span I feel makes her a bit overpowered. But Cole's trinket is pretty funny. It's a lump of coal that makes most of your stats just worse. It's even worse than Shrimpo's brick trinket. Now I gotta do a Shrimpo run with this. For Cole's human design, I was trying to keep those cute eyebrows and angry face, and she's wearing a long gray winter cloak with, of course, a lump of coal in the middle with a bow. It turns those bags on her head into actual earmuffs with candy cane ribbons. And she's also wearing a cute candy cane scarf. Here is human Cole. Lastly on this list of holiday tunes, we've got Rudy. Rudy the reindeer appears as a deer with the candy cane antlers and a red nose. A big tuft of fur can also be seen around his neck, and the big smile on his face can tell you everything about Rudy, as he's very optimistic and loves everything about Christmas. He loves Christmas so much to the point where it's kind of his whole personality. No, I'm not kidding. Literally every single dialogue is Rudy raving about Christmas, oftentimes weirding out the other tunes in the process. Even Bobette could not match Rudy's festiveness. And that's a lot considering she is a Christmas ball. Rudy has decent stats all around, with everything being 3 stars, making him a good all-rounder toon and more of a survivalist with his ability, which allows Rudy to quickly charge forward in a short burst, increasing his movement speed, which works in a pinch when trying to get away from Twisteds, especially if you're out of stamina. It's similar to Poppy, but he's able to activate it whenever. Rudy is also special in Blackouts, as similar to Brittany, Rudy's red nose will glow in the dark, making it easier to see. I think something that would have been extra cool for an active ability would have been a jump and dash, allowing Rudy to shortly fly over Twisteds like a magical reindeer. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Twisted Rudy is one of the most common Twisteds, his eyes being red with tears of ichor. His left antler is much larger and completely covered in ichor, while the other is snapped off. His legs are also covered, and his nose is glowing bright red. When he spots you, he becomes angry with a sinister smile, and proceeds to charge forward with his antlers. While this Twisted doesn't have any special abilities, it does help that he glows because it makes it easy to know where he is on the map, giving you more time to hide, just like Brittany but without the speed. So I'd say he's one of the easiest Twisteds to avoid in the game. For Rudy's human form, I went for a cutesy innocent vibe because he's just a silly guy who loves Christmas. He's wearing a candy cane striped sweater to match his candy cane antlers, and over that is a pair of overalls. His neck fluff really reminded me of a bandana, so I drew one around his neck. I know his most defining feature is his red nose, but as we all know, I don't draw noses, so instead, he has some very bright red rosy cheeks. Just imagine his entire face glows in the dark, and his hair is fluffy just like his ears. Here is human Rudy. Hey Hey broskies, thanks so much for watching. I loved drawing the new Dandy's World holiday tunes, and let me know your favorite in the comments. And don't worry, I'll be back with another Dandy's World video soon. Bye!